Alright, okay guys, so today I'm just going to be showing you how I make my schemes. So we're going to be making a Alex Bowman scheme today, because I don't have enough of those. I only have one actually. And I'm going to be going for a Valvoline look, because we all already know the alley. So Valvoline would kind of be cool, because that is another one of Hendrick's sponsors. So we're just going to go ahead and make that. So, the principles of making a scheme. First, you have to know where to exactly put the sponsors. So on a next-gen base here, the main reason why they move the number to the front over here is to make the sponsor bigger on like the door panel to whatever you call this back here. So this is the major sponsor area. So I'm not actually, but say I just throw a Menards on there. Also, another thing in Photopea, that's what I'm using. I'm using Photopea. It's 100% free. Definitely use that. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Menards down here, because this is layered painting. Now, as you can see, it, you know, the transparent parts will show, and then the non-transparent parts, it will not show. So it's really, really easy to figure out. So here's the kind of thing that you want to do. You want to kind of do this, like that. See how large that is? That's the main reason. In the Gen 6, it would look a lot more like, that's not perfectly straight, but whatever. In the Gen 6, it would look a lot more like this, because the number would go right here. But since it's the Gen 7, you can just kind of have it like that. And then another major principle of it is, let's just throw in another one. Now, these are just random. Another major principle is right about here. So about underneath where that giant logo is going to go, you want to throw in maybe a little one. The best thing about scheme making, the best thing to make good looking schemes, is to fill up as much space as possible without overdoing it. So I normally never really put that much on the nose. I put like one thing on the back over here, you guys will see, but on the corner panel as well, I like to do it just like this. Just like that. It's that simple. There's not much. This is a oh my gosh. This is another major scheme making area. You know, you have to fill up right here, and then of course the hood. I mean, right here sometimes looks good blank, but occasionally you would want to just put on one or two sponsors on there. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get right into making the actual scheme. So for this scheme, we're gonna throw on a white wherever it went. There it is. As you can tell, I have a lot of schemes. Throwing the white on there. Just kind of lengthen it so it goes all the way out about that far. You don't have to, but that's just to kind of ensure that there's not going to be any bugs with your scheme. Alright, step 2. I'm actually just going to throw the number on there. Let's see if I have a 48 or if I'm going to have to find one. Alright, so I do have some 48s, but it's not really the one that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go to a program that I like. It's called GIFGIT. It's also 100% free. And I'm going to select file down here. Let me just, sorry if I'm moving kind of fast. And we're going to throw this on. So GIFGIT is really, really good for coloring things in and removing background, because they have a nice magic wand tool. One thing you have to do though is crank up the tolerance as high as possible and make the radius 1. Otherwise it's gonna leave like white marks or whatever the background color was. Alright, so let's see if we can do with this 48. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, I want this scheme to be different. So I'm thinking we fill it in blue. That left a little bit of a yellow mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank up the tolerance if that happens. Nope. Just keep on cranking up the tolerance as high as possible until you get that result. Now if there is a little line, it won't actually be noticed on the scheme. I mean, you'll see it maybe a little bit, but it's better than most things. That's close. That's close. Just gonna keep on cranking up the tolerance. That is about to the point where you will not notice it on the actual scheme. Oops. That is not good. See, that means that I overdid the tolerance a bit. I think that that's about as good as it gets. I'm actually going to crank down the tolerance a little bit more. And, oh yeah, the radius has to be a 1. That's not good. Do not put it at 1. If it doesn't work at 1, oh, perfect. See? 1 and then the radius as high as you can. Or the tolerance as high as you can. There it is. So that made that perfect 48 there. So now we're just going to do this. Be sure to keep your downloads really, like, clean and neat. So I have, like, everything in order. Just so that way you can kind of, I'm more of a neat person. Just so you can kind of, access it all really easily in alphabetical order. It should automatically do that. But if you're a particularly messy person, you might be able to, make it messy. Alright, so let's throw the 48 on there. Of course, for next gen, it goes to the way front of the door panel. Alright, that looks good. So what you want to do is you want to right click like this, and then you're going to select duplicate. Now I already did that. We're going to move it up here. I like to click this middle piece, and then you have to put it back in the center. Now go up here to this little symbol thing, and you are going to put in 18. So now it's 180 degrees. It's going to flip, and there we go, fit perfectly. We're going to duplicate this one. We're going to put this on the rear of the car over here. We're going to duplicate this. Perfect. So now, yeah, it's perfect. We have all the numbers on there, and now all that we have to do is actually insert, the design and the sponsors. Let's go ahead and do that. So we are going to go down all the way to V. Let's see if I have any Valvoline sponsors, though. I probably skipped V. I'm also looking for other sponsors right now, too, that would look good on the car, that are part of Hendrick. I do not see any. And I'll just search it. Oh, I do have Valvoline. It's probably just the circle, though. So we're gonna go exit out of GIFGIT. Thank you, GIFGIT. We're gonna look up Valvoline logo. Go to images, and here's one. This is a good looking one. It's already transparent for us, so we don't have to use GIFGIT for that. Save image as, and of course, just name it Valvoline. Perfect. Alright. So now here's where the tricky part comes in. You want to make a design that looks good. So I think that I got something that will turn out looking pretty good. We're going to clear that. Let's go down. Let me look for the Valvoline that I just got. I'm stupid and I can't find the stupid. alphabetical order. I don't know my alphabet, guys. There it is, right there. So we have the circle, and then we have Alpine. So I'm just kind of thinking we can make the roof. Oh, we can make like the roof a blue, and then maybe make that 48 red. So we're gonna go back to GIFGIT. I know it's a lot of back and forth sometimes. And now you don't have to be this specific, but in my league, I like to bring like all my racers the best product possible. So we are almost there now. I'm just gonna take the one that worked. Wait a second. Launch editor. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna go back to this paint bucket here, and we're just gonna make it red. Should fill in perfectly. And download that. Let's remove all this. And perfect. Alright. We're gonna delete the 48 on the roof. We're gonna throw in the red one. Let's go all the way back up. And there it is. It's our brand new one. Okay, so far so good. Don't really have any problems with it right now. I believe this would be a nice blue. Picked it out before I started recording. So one thing about making colored shapes with Photopea is if you, let me show you. If you rotate it like this, say you want to do this, and then you exit out of it, then you need to go back, it's going to be all funky. And so now you can't really like adjust it how you want without it becoming all distorted. So heed my warning on that one. Just gotta be careful. Oh, by the way, always, always, always put the numbers to the top. The numbers go above everything. I forgot to remove the background on the inside of that 8. That's not good. You know what that means? That means that we have to go back to GIFGIT. Yay! I'll stay on that page. So here's where you get the magic wand. You get the magic wand. Be sure the tolerance is as high as you can without ruining it. So try to go a little bit higher. Yeah, that's about good. Don't want to push my luck too much. There we go. Now that's transparent. Get your magic wand tool out. It's going to automatically bring you to the top of the page. Just scroll down a little bit. Clicking. Hello. Earth to GIFGIT. Oh, it doesn't feel like working for me right now. What the heck? Sometimes you need to press deselect. So GIFGIT just froze on me. That sucks. I'm just gonna reload, and it should have saved my progress. Well, that's annoying. So we're just gonna exit out of that. Oh, I feel like this tutorial's taking forever. Alright. We're gonna try that again. I don't know why it bugged out on me. That has never happened. Alright, so we're already on the magic wand. I'm gonna start with this one, because starting with the other one is bad luck, I guess. Gonna do that. Use the magic wand again. Click on this guy. There it is. Click the magic wand once more. And should be good. 48.3. There we go. Now we're gonna go ahead and do it again, but with the blue one. GIFGIT. Open a file. It really, once you get the hang of it, it does not take that long. Like, I am zooming through this right now. Could probably go a little bit faster, but I just don't want to. I don't want it to look like it's super, super hard, because that's not good. Alright. Do that. Alright. I am going to go a little bit faster with this one. Yeah. That was just a misclick. Perfect, got it. Alright, we're just gonna download that. Okay, let's try this again. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to redo all the numbers. That's the price of that. But, now that I actually know the design that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put in all this stuff first then. Might as well. So, you really only want to put in the number first if you don't know what design you're going to use. But now that I know what I'm going to do, you know, I'm inspired and I have a good idea, it should be smooth sailing. So, I'm going to go ahead, say that we make another one. Let's make the stroke, I want to make the stroke like a Valvoline kind of red. So if you want to do this with Photopea, what you got to do is you got to go down, get the color that you want, wherever my Valvoline went. And yes, I do have Rick Astley up there somewhere. Right up here. Somebody asked me to make them a Rickroll car. Okay, so there's the Valvoline red. So if you want, you can use like a color picker tool. So as you can tell, it would be really, really hard. It'd take a long, long, long time, and it would never actually be exact unless if you're that good to actually get that red. So all you got to do is you have to click that, go down here, bam, just like that. It'll automatically find it for you. And now I'm just going to delete that Valvoline because I don't need it yet. So now the stroke, excuse me, sir, you're supposed to fill in there. Okay, there it is. Now we can get rid of that. Oh my gosh! Okay, so do not get rid of the Valvoline, apparently. It wants the Valvoline to stay. Fine. Fine. Just stay over there or something. Alright. We're gonna throw this in. I want that to be a little bit more. This is just a really, really easy way of doing things. So what I'm doing is I'm actually like making a border around this. So yeah. I think you can see what I'm doing with this now. So it'll just kind of, let's do 15. What does 15 look like? Yeah. So it looks ugly right now. But by the time that I move it, remember that this is 20.4 for me to flatten this out. I'm going to bring this out, bring it down, move it out like this, and that looks fire. At least I think that it does. Yeah, so you see how that turned out? That looks pretty good. So now it was negative 20.4, I believe. So negative 20.4. No, it was not negative. There it is. Okay. Now we're just going to select that. We're going to click that. Now we can do about 200. Now we have to add 180 to whatever it was. So that's 200 point, what? It was 7, right? 200.7, I think. So then we're going to move this down like so. I'm trying to line it up like how it is on the other side. that looks, it's not going to be perfect, probably never will be, but yeah, that looks good. So if you run into this issue where this is overlapping that and you don't want that, just bring this up above that. Just that way the layer kind of stacks on top of it. It's like stacking stickers. All these are just stickers. Now we can get rid of that Valvoline, except I don't want to now. So as you can tell, that kind of blends in a little bit much. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. See how this looks. And we want, oh yeah, this is gonna look so good. Now we want to move this about 90 degrees. So just input a 9. You don't actually have to delete it. Work smarter, not harder. If you know what I mean. Put that in like that. Yeah. So that is about the base of, your scheme. Sometimes you do have to duplicate. Move this up to here, like so, and then bring this above that. There. So now that's cleared. I might actually cover the back in that blue as well, because the blue actually looks really, really good. So we're gonna bring that like so. It's beautiful. I think that just looks great. Not much to say. Not much to say. Now we're just gonna slap the numbers on, like I showed you before. Gonna bring the numbers. Where are all my numbers? Here they are. So we're gonna want that one. Also, whenever you download these images, I know that's kind of late. Whenever you download the image, make sure that you click PNG, not JPEG. Otherwise, it will not be transparent. Always use PNG. Not if you're gonna use like squares. You're going to use squares, but if you need the background removed, you have to use PNG. Otherwise, you are in deep, deep, deep doo-doo. There it is. Nope, we don't want to do that yet. I'm going to bring that about like that. Now, if you want to, you can get really, really fancy and color, say you want the 8 red and then this one blue. Now, you could technically do that with GIFGIT, but I'm just kind of leaving it like this. It's just a little bit more simple. I think that looks good. I put in the wrong. Is that the right 48? Oh, no, it's fine. Also, press Control Z as a undo instead of going up to edit and clicking step backward. Use Control Z. And then to step forward, it's just add shift to that. Just kind of a photo P tutorial and everything. You guys are getting a little bit of everything in this. Okay, so now let's put in that nice red 48. I'm putting in the red one, like so. Putting in all these, and then we're going to put in some more sponsors. The main component of making a scheme is, of course, to fill up as much of the car as possible. That 48 on the roof looks very, very ugly, so I'm going to adjust that a little bit. That does not look good. Try to fill up as much space as possible, as I literally just said. Just try to fill it all up, Fill it up. There we go. That looks a little bit better. I'm fidgeting with my mic. Now let's just fill up the space. So I want a white Valvoline logo now. So just look it up. It shouldn't be that hard to find. If it's a rare logo, just use the Roblox catalog. Okay, so I like that. Except I want it like this. Ah, perfect. It's already removed the background for me. That saves so much trouble. Valvoline B. There it is. Bring it all the way down. It's probably the most scrolling that I've ever done in a scheme making video, or in a scheme, and of course it's in the video. So bring this down below the numbers. because you don't want it to interrupt the numbers or anything. We have kind of encountered an issue. Maybe we need to use a black one. So we're gonna go ahead and use a black one. This one looks good because it's gonna be like going with the direction that the car is moving. And never actually, like, you don't have to delete it because, hey, you might want to use that sponsor again in a scheme, and it'll just save so much time if you don't have to, like, backtrack. Valvoline, there it is. And they didn't actually remove the background. So here's where I could probably use another program that I don't trust as much as GIFGIT, but it works. It's called Remove BG. It's also 100% free, and, you know. So I was actually making a scheme earlier, a throwback scheme for one of my drivers. So that's what you're seeing there. Find it hard to trust Remove BG sometimes, but just gonna have to with this one. Any second now. Any given moment. Okay, there it is. The squares got tinier, so it did it. I just hope that it did in that O and in the A and, you know, the inside, because that's where it kind of struggles sometimes. I believe that they can fix that though. It looks like it all got done perfectly. So here's our wonderful Valvoline. Now, if you can't actually find it, you can just use the text tool over here. That also has like an outline too. It's just that it will do that same bug in Photop where it'll like make it all distorted if you accidentally unclick it. Oh yes. Oh yeah. This is probably one of my best Chevy schemes yet. In my league, I don't actually have that much Chevy drivers. Heck, I think the next season I'm gonna have more Dodge drivers than Chevys. So I end up making a lot of Toyota schemes. Alright, so as you can tell, it's at negative 10.8. You want to remove that negative. Put that, or put your cursor over there, and right there, just add about 180, so that's 190.8. It sounds complicated, but once you kind of practice it, just practice, and you're gonna get so good at it. Let's put in another Hendrick sponsor. Now, just make sure to add a variety of sponsors. Add a large variety. So I'm just looking for some other Hendrick sponsors that I have. We have HendrickCars.com. So we could use this. I'm looking for another one. Dex is not part of Hendrick. Oh, A-Shock is. Where's A-Shock? A-Shock is normally just Chase, but so is Napa. We'll do Napa. Napa would look good in that blue. Just kind of match the sponsors that you have with the background color. So here's the secondary, like main scheme area or whatever. Bring it down about down there. And I also want to adjust this 48. That looks a little bit too big for my liking, and it's too close to the Camaro logo. There, that looks a lot better. It could still be adjusted, but duplicate. Gonna bring this guy up here. Make sure this little square is in the center, otherwise it's gonna flip kind of weird whenever you rotate 180 degrees. Hello. There it is. There. And if you're ever in a situation where you make it too small, you can always just use this to move it up and down. You know what I mean? Alright. Just like so. Let's fill up the corner panel, and then we'll fill up back here. We'll throw one more Valvoline on the back there, and I think that we'll be all set. You should be good to go after that. We'll throw... Actually, I think that the circle would look better. Very, very indecisive in scheme making. but that's what just makes them so good, you know? Perfect. I'm gonna move it to the other side. Move it down like this. And now we just gotta bring it down using these, as you could tell. Down a couple more pixels, and that's good. That's good. So now it's just kind of gonna look like it's got some tattoos on the side. Not much on the back. That's fine though. You don't always have to have things. Just tatter it up. And let's throw an alley. I'm thinking alley, because that's Bowman's, of course, his primary. Let's throw an alley on there. I don't know how purple would look on. I don't know how purple would look on there. We want to remove background. I need to do some management. So about 7.5 is good for this template if you're doing the corner panel. I don't want it to necessarily be flat because that would look kind of awkward, but that needs to be white. White alley logo. Is this it right here? Please be legit. There it is. Alley C. So we're just gonna flip that. I don't know what I just did. What happened? What the? Okay. Looks like the problem is solved. I don't know what just happened there, but it happened. That's gonna be a famous quote. I don't know what happened, but it did. Just kind of throw this down there. Now there is a different way to make it on mobile. You can actually make schemes on mobile. I have figured it out, but I think that my friends use IBS Paint. You can still actually use Photopea on your phone. So I've made a scheme. I was on a trip and I had to make a scheme. It didn't turn out as bad as I thought it would. Obviously, making schemes on mobile is nowhere near as good as making it on a computer, but it works. And if you're a mobile only person, then which I am mostly mobile, I can't actually play Roblox on this computer. Just can't handle it. Um, Luckily, I can make schemes and use Roblox Studio, so it works, and I'll live. But yeah, I would just use Photopea. Just look it up in your browser. It's really not that hard to find. There we go, Halloween, and this should be the final little bit. Negative 90 degrees to make it face the other way. Okay. If you want to just view the whole thing, just click background. There it is. Our Alex Bowman scheme. I don't know about you, I think that it turned out great. I could have maybe done some things better, but it would just take me a while to figure that out. And I want this to be shorter than it should be. Um, Of course, it probably will take me way less than the amount of time that I just took to record this, but, I just wanted to show you guys everything about GIFGIT, remove BG, photo P. Just remember the major principles. You will always want number on each side, or roof, and then back here on the right side of the rear bumper. You of course want a sponsor on the hood, but with the next gen car you want it huge since the number is moved. That's why it's so big over here. Put a little sponsor down there. Sometimes they put big sponsors right here and then little ones up here still somehow, which is actually a good advantage of space. Be sure to fill this up. I really honestly should have put more sponsors over here, but no, this is just gonna be short and quick. Just have to know those primary sponsor spots. So the primary sponsor spot is here, 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 and then on the corner panel. Sometimes up here it's hard on the side because that's where the gas intake is. Right here is another big spot. I left it blank now. This is a great sponsor spot, and then of course the hood. You can tattoo up the front, but that would often require you to line it up perfectly with the side here, and that can be really, really tough. Okay, and always remember, I struggled so much with this whenever I first started. It's the simplest thing, but all you need to do is you need to click a file, and you just need to drag it and drop it in. Because the tutorial that I watched for Photop did not explain that, and they just did it so quickly, and I just... Okay, so that is super, super important. You don't have to just, like, keep on open in place, okay? It's just so much easier. Alright, guys, don't have much to say. Enjoy your schemes, and, I'll just export this real quick. Enjoy your schemes, God bless, and have a good one. I suck out outros.